This webinar is part of a webinar series that is being held in addition to the Atlassian Remote Summit. So some of you might join today's keynote of the Remote Summit and the breakout sessions afterwards. So we are talking about how to use native Jira native Jira workflows in Confluence today in this webinar. My colleague Marie will guide you through this topic. My name is Daniel, and I will be available for questions and answers and the chat if you have any questions throughout this webinar. I'm based out of New York, an Atlassian expert here for STAGIL, and my colleague Marie is an Atlassian and marketing expert based out of Berlin. So if you have questions, let me know, and I will hand over to Marie now to show you what's happening here. Just a quick note up front, we will be talking about some features that are missing in Confluence, but that are available in Jira, and how we enable you to use those features using an add-on. But this add-on is currently not in a final stage. So if you have any feature requests, any ideas how we could even improve this add-on for you, for any use cases that you might have, feel free to contact us. We will make this, or we have this add-on available for free for you. I think it's not free in the marketplace currently, but you can just contact us and you can get this for free because it's not a final version, and you can just start using it, try it out, and you can shape the features and the roadmap together with us based on your needs. So let us know if you have any feedback on this product, anything that you might think is missing. You get a license for free, so don't hesitate to reach out. And now, Marie, if you're ready, please show us what that app can do.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel, for introduction. Also another warm welcome from my side. And yes, as Daniel mentioned, it's a very new app. We just launched it recently, so we are very happy about also hearing your feedback. And what we want to discuss here is about the idea which we implemented with this app. And for that, I also start with the problem in Confluence. So there are some contents in Confluence which maybe need an approval. So you have documents there which need to be approved, or they need to be updated after certain events. Maybe they're legal new laws or something which enforces you that your document needs to be updated, or just a normal business process that you know, okay, I have to edit this content and documents. And in Jira, this can be managed by workflows, but they are not synchronized in Confluence. So when you want to use your workflows, you can only do it in Jira per default. But there are some situations, like I mentioned just now, that you also need some rework here, and you want to implement standardized processes also in Confluence about document management, and you can't make use of this workflows in Jira. And that's was the idea for us to address and to introduce STAGIL workflows and fields for Confluence. And there are some other solutions already on the market, but what we try to do here is to make it as easy as possible. So what we did is we use a native Jira workflows in Confluence. So you don't need to add like tons of script and to try to add some Confluence workflows manually, but we enable with this app that you can just use a Jira project and sync it with the Confluence and manage your document and your content management directly in a Jira project. And so that's make it like a seamless process of the document creation and maintenance in Confluence and Jira. And you also see the status of page without adding a macro in Confluence, because the information is just there on every page. So let's have a look about this will look like in practice. So we have our documentation page, and you can already see that there are different statuses here. So there's a publish view, which I will refer later on. And you can see that this document is in to-do status. So we need to do some rework here. And you can also see the other process stats, the status, which are in Jira. And you can see the fields. So here's the Jira issue, which is containing this. And you can also define some fields of the Jira issues, which you want to look here. So that's a Confluence view. And now let's have a look about how is this in Jira. So you create a project. So you will need a new project for that document management. And as soon as you create a new Confluence page, it will also create a new Jira issue in that project you predefined for it. And you can see that the workflow here is just the same as the one in Confluence, which you can see on the page. And you have the information, which were extracted here in the fields, like city Berlin is what you can also find here. So, and you will also find the corresponding page already linked here, so that you get a bidirectional linking on both sides. And yeah, that's like the basic idea of it. And when you now start processing it, it will also respect like the transition screens, which are in Jira. So I think that the story points are required here. And so if you have mandatory fields, it will also respect here. So if I want to start progress on this document, maybe story points doesn't make sense here, but it's just an example. And it's supported for different custom fields types. So you can have a select list, you can have number field, and you can have a text field. And now you can start the progress here. And what will be also done when you go through this process. So let's say this document had made some changes and now it's reviewed and it's done. Then we have this latest page publish field. And if I now update the issue, it will not only mention that the issue is updated, but it will also say that the last page publish was done. So this is a custom field. You just add a new custom field. And in the configuration of Confluence, you define that field. So let's have a look into the configuration so far. So here you have this latest page publish it. So here you can use some date picker where you want to connect the new publish of content to the Jira issue. And what you can do here is you can select a page editors. So that's just a Jira group. So you can define or Confluence group. So you can define a group of users who are able to edit this page. So I can just select here, and therefore, to make this use, you need to create a multi-user picker field in Jira. So when you created a multi-user picker and edit the issue here, then you can enter several users who are able to make edits on the page. And when you update it, you can see them here on the right people panel. And so when I now log out to another person, to another user, which is not in the ticket, so I will take Daniel for that case. And go to the page we just said when it's loading. Yeah, then I can't edit. So I can view it, but only the people who are meant to publish new content here can now edit the page. So that's the idea of this. So I will re-log in again as admin. And also the naming of the issue is based on the summary of the page. So let's go back to the page and maybe create a new page. So that you maybe need a subpage here. So my new document. Then it will also come with the new statuses here. And when I update here, I can see that the new Jira issue was created. And it's also important to know that the status change works vice versa. So we saw that I updated the SQL and database document to done. And now it's also done here. And on the other way around, if I move it here from to do and start progress, and go and reload my new document, then it's also progress here. And so you can work on your documents and directly having the information about the status of the document creation or editing, and still have the power in Jira that you can have all the filters, dashboards, and whatever you want to use to make reporting on which documents are in which phase of the content review or content creation process, so that you get a track on it. And here you also see again that it's already connected to each other. And to set this up, coming back to configuration, you will select the project key, which is on your Jira project, and you will select your space key, whatever it should be, and you can also limit it to certain kind of issue types. And then you click Add, and that's what I did here. So the Jira project key was also my doc, and the space key I decided for the same, it's also my doc. So here are no restrictions to issue type, and then you create it. And now you only need to sync it, and after you did it, then you have this synchronization ready and can create new content with having own workflows. And you go to the field option here. Then you can also select the custom fields or the system fields which you want to have displayed here. So I set assignee, type, and city. And when I go to field, I see the assignee and the status and one there. Ah, but the city is missing. Let's see. Ah, but I think I didn't enter something in his city. So I will enter city here. And then I can also see the city. So far it is supported for for numbers, text field, and select list. And soon is coming that it's also supported for user picker fields and date and time fields. So that's will come next. And what else you can do is like you can define post, certain kind of post function here. So you can say when it is set to done and you make edit on the page, that it will do reopen it. So let's go back here to one of the document, that one which was defined as done from the status. And now I go and edit this page. It needs to load a bit. Here we are, and we are just doing any kind of change here. Then we see that it goes into to-do status again. So that's what you can decide here. And then you also have this view publish function. So let's imagine here you can see what is the last published version of your document. So we see that the last one was published. We see now the change is got lost here because the last change was done. It was set into done before this one was edited again, because now we did the edit and it became into to do again. And when we view it as a draft, then we can see the edit, but it's still not published. And to make it publish, I need to like resolve this issue again. And if I now go to view publish, I will also have this change edit here. What is meaning, so when you are working on the documents and you start a new review process, that only certain group of people should be able to see the changes, and other group of people should be only able to see like the published version, because that's the version where they're working with. So it's kind of creating like an staging environment so that you have freedom to make changes which are not official already. So that is the tool basically. So I think, I hope you got an idea about how it's working. And what I now want to do is maybe give a little outlook or kind of a roadmap about what features are coming next. So there's some user story, like users without edit permission can only see the latest published version. So at the moment they are able to see more published version, but we want to give to empower that you can only see the last published version for a certain group which only needs to see the last version. So they are not interested to have older versions, or that you can only create a Jira sync issue if a specific label is set in the new created Confluence site. So that's also coming next. So at the moment, like every page will be synced in Jira in this space, no matter if you want it or not, and we want to make also differentiation here, or that the edit Jira field comes from Confluence page. So that at the moment you saw that you can see like some Jira fields, but in future you will be also able to edit them directly in Confluence, so that you don't have to switch to the Jira interface. And yeah, that's what I mentioned. That's a user picker and date time picker is coming as custom field support. So in the transition screens, and Jira fields come. Jira fields from view Jira fields from Confluence page as well, and also display Jira comments so that you have more information about what's going on through this release and staging function. So this was the insight giving so far. We are done from the content, and now if you have some questions, feel free to ask if you have them. And as Daniel just mentioned at the beginning, it's just like our new baby product, and we are still going. And so we offer that you can try it out for free, that you can get free licenses from us. And we are very happy if you are interested to try out with us. And if you discover some user stories you would like to have here, you can create in our service desk so that we can develop and progress this topic. Actually, it was coming from one customer project so that we developed this app, and now we want to see about how we can make it even more powerful and usable for you. So thank you for your attendance so far. So maybe Daniel, do you have something to add or something?
Thank you, Marie. That was great. We had 2 questions and I answered them, so I hope they got answered properly here. One question was again about how to deal with versions and drafts of pages, but this question came right before you actually explained it. So I hope this was answered. So again, it's a great way to manage your public documents, public documentation, knowledge base articles if you have different versions, and basically every document that has a release process in your company. And usually what we've seen with a lot of customers is that they kind of have a release process in place, but not really. So the release process looks more like, oh, well, I'll ask my manager if it looks great, and then he tells me it's okay, I can release it, and that's it. So here, again, with the history of the Jira feature and Jira issues that are linked to these pages, you also have your kind of your audit log of the releases of different documents. And yeah, as Marie mentioned, this is right now it's a free app. I think it's not free on the marketplace right now, but you can just let us know and we'll give you a free license. Like on top of that, not only the evaluation license that you can pull yourself online, but also going forward, it will stay a free app for quite a while now. And yeah, feel free to try it out and request a free license and help us develop useful features that you need for your company and for your own use cases. Thanks for attending. And if you're moving on to the remote summit now, to the keynotes, enjoy and stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.